There's a passion that ignites us, driven by pride, daring, and the desire to excel, fueled by the high-octane love of owners, drivers, and car lovers everywhere. It's a calling for every man and woman to enjoy and live this lifestyle now. Welcome to Cars and Coffee Exposed. Chris Laporte, you have brought us a very special car, a 1952 Allard. And not only did you bring the car, but you brought this treasure trove of history about the car.
Every document from birth.
We even have an original program for the Grand Prix from 1954 that it raced in, and you and I just found it together for the first time. You didn't even know this was here.
It shows you what I know.
How amazing. So tell us a few things that you think make it special for you.
Well, I don't even know why I always wanted one. I always had Ferraris, and I always wanted an Allard. And I happened to be in Monterey, and it was love at first sight. And I just sold a Ferrari Daytona, so I had a bunch of money in my pocket.
It was meant for you.
It was cool.
I think it was meant for you.
It was really cool.
Do you drive it?
Where I live out in the country, so my round the block is 5.5 miles. So I've taken it around that, but this car likes to steer you. It was made for the racetrack. So if you hit a bump, and I live in Illinois, and we got plenty of bumps. But I've had it on the racetrack. I do touring class, because it doesn't have a roll bar, so but I'm not a big racer anyhow. It's fun.
It's just
really
fun.
Fun. Yeah.
It's just fun.
It's a fun, noisy, makes a lot of noise, and I have a Dodge Viper that makes a lot of noise, and it tries to kill me. Well, this car could get the job done.
Yeah. Yeah.
This car. Yeah.
And it's raced many times.
Yes, it's raced its whole life.
So
it was never a street car. Ever.
It went from Cadillac. I had a Cadillac motor.
It started life with a Cadillac 331 Cadillac motor.
Mm-hmm.
At one point in time, it was changed to a DeSoto Adventurer motor, and it raced Bonneville Salt Flats in that twice. Went 124 miles an hour with the Allard body on it, with the body that's on it now, which is the original body. And then it went 154 miles an hour with the Sorrel body on it, which was a more streamlined fiberglass body that Sorrel was making bodies then.
And then how did it get from there to?
And then, because they had the body off, and the body sat in New Jersey for, I believe, like 20 years. And then the Elby brothers come along, and the Elby brothers were big racers out of Naples, Florida. So the Elbys took the chassis, but they had all the bits and pieces of the car, which is very rare for these cars because they were race cars. So they're always smashed up, they're off the road.
True.
This car had been off a couple times. It just spun out, it never rolled over or anything. So it was all the original, which is really cool. It's the original bodywork, and you can tell because it's the old aluminum with the seams and not new, smooth.
And it wasn't originally blue.
It was originally was a metallic blue, a dark metallic blue.
Oh, it was a dark metallic blue.
And when the Elbys got it, it was bare metal. But it's really cool.
I love that blue. It fits you. I love that you kept this, and I'm so excited that you continued to document the whole journey of it and how much you've really cared for it, how much it's been cared for over the years, and I know you're going to continue to care for it in the same way. Thanks for bringing her out. What's her name, by the way? Does she have a name?
My car? No, I don't.
You don't name
the
your
blue
cars?
one. Yeah,
the blue one? Okay.
That's bad luck.
Yeah, I think it's
bad luck with me naming anything. So. It's not my daughter.
Well, Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So nice meeting you.
Thank you. Pleasure. Same here, too.
Don Monschau, you are the owner of Moonshine Garage, and you have this beautiful car, this 52 Styline Deluxe Chevy that you brought to us today to show us. It's really amazing that you did this work because it looks like it's perfection. It's absolute perfection. But I know it took you a while to get to this point. So where did it start, and give us the whole history behind this car?
I was going on a beer run one day, and
it always starts like that. Right?
driving down the road, and it was sitting off to the side, about a block off the highway I was on. It called my name. I had to turn around, go back, and I bought it.
Where was it?
Actually, it's across the street from where we live right now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So somebody just had a sign in it?
It had a for sale sign in the front windshield. Like I said, it called my name.
So you just saw the vision immediately. You knew what you could, was it what it is today? Was the vision what it is today?
No, not really.
Yeah?
There used to be a rat rod show in town called the 100-Car Pileup, so we kind of built it for that. You know, that was a show, like, if you got into that show, you were on the scene, you know? So we chopped it and lowered it, and, you know, there we were. Kind of how it started.
So you were just like, hold my beer.
Yeah. I wanted to get it going, you know, just the thing, chop it, lower it, let's go for a ride. You know, we had a lot of fun with it. And the next year, then we flat blacked it and put flames on it, had candy green flames on there and everything, and drove around. That year, it made it into Good Guys magazine, and I said, yeah, I like it now. Just, let's see what I can do with it.
Watch me work. So how many hours?
Untold. Nights, weekends, it just...
Was this your dream car, though? Was this...
It has become my dream car.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have the vision for all that when it started, but it just evolved.
You did a beautiful job on it.
Oh, thank you.
I love the pinstriping. Who did that?
Famous Dave Walters.
He's
He's great.
Heard his
He's
name
done.
a time or two.
He's done all my striping.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous. Where are you going to
covered it.
show it again?
James Dean Run, Customer of the Year. Last year, I showed up. Wasn't
Okay.
attending to play. And they come up and they're like, you're a contender for Customer of the Year. I'm like, what? Had to pull all the luggage out of the car. Clean it up, get
Yeah.
it ready, and we did. We got Customer of the Year.
And not only
So
that,
she's still
you're
getting-
showing it, but you did the work, and that's what's so incredible about it.
And it's done well for business, too.
Yeah.
It's helped business.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean,
I'm sure.
the word gets around.
Let's talk about that. Moonshine Garage. Where are you located?
Wilmington, Illinois.
Wilmington, Illinois. Okay, well, the people want to know.
Hey, I do hot rods, customs, muscle cars, a lot of muscle cars. That's hot right now.
Okay.
So do
And
some
then you
frame
can
up
send them
builds.
down to me for the interiors.
I could, yeah.
We'll be right back with more Cars and Coffee Exposed.
Promotional consideration provided by
What is Urable? We are a business management system that helps create an exceptional customer experience and improves business operations. As a car enthusiast, you deserve the best, and Urable is the common denominator. With so many detail shops, endless brands of ceramic coatings, window tint, and paint protection film, it's hard to find the right shop for the job. Shops powered by Urable understand the care and quality that your investment requires. Avoid shops that are in the race to the bottom. If you want to identify the best providers in your area, make sure they're powered by Urable.
Get ready for an adrenaline-fueled ride with Cars and Coffee Exposed. It's not just a show, it's a whole new automotive experience. Now's the time to claim your spot as a brand partner for the electrifying 2024 season. Partner with us to inject your brand into our high-octane episodes and connect with car enthusiasts live at Cars and Coffee events nationwide. Rev up your marketing strategy today. Contact carsandcoffeeexposed.com and let's accelerate together.
Welcome back to Cars and Coffee Exposed. Indiana is famous for its car culture, and a man who has witnessed a great deal of its history firsthand is Casmir. At the age of 13, Kaz acquired his first car, a 1931 Model A Ford, and his passion for everything automotive has never let up. Kaz sat down with Cars and Coffee Exposed to talk about his love of cars and gave us a ride in his adorable 1941 Ford pickup. We're here with a local legend, Casmir. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you got it right.
So nice to meet you.
It's good to be met.
Tell us about this truck and when did you get it? Tell us the history about it.
Okay, this is a 1941 Ford pickup truck. Had it done, painted up like my dad's gas station. My dad had a gas station in 1952 when I was just a little kid. And I remember a truck like that here. It was different. It had a big push bumper on it, and it wasn't slammed like this. You know, poetic license. That's how we started with this one.
Wow. So your dad had a gas station.
Yeah,
And so you grew up around cars.
all the time, all the time. Then he had a junkyard, then he had these other things, so yeah.
Was he a mechanic?
You know what? He couldn't do anything. He couldn't fix anything, but he He had, he had a gas station. He could pump gas, all right.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So what was your first car?
My first car was a 1931 Model A Ford. I've still got it.
You still have it.
I still have it.
What year did you buy it?
I was 13 years old, so I'd have to subtract. I don't know what year that was, but
You were 13. Could you
13.
even drive it then?
I did. We drove it up and down the street, and we did everything we're not supposed to do.
Right.
But it was a regular Model A Ford. It was really cool. And then my buddies and I, we chopped the top on it. We did other things to it. One time we put a flathead Ford in it, then a Chevy, and now it's got a turbocharged Offenhauser engine in it.
Your dad sounded like a little bit of a
He's
rebel.
great, yeah.
So did you guys just go around and start collecting these cars together for
You know,
a little while?
I think, well, my father was a big influence because at that time when they had parades and stuff like that, he had old Model T Fords that would run in the parade, spray water on people and all that stuff. And so that's how I got kind of hooked on that stuff. And then from that, I started collecting Model T race cars. I mean, serious cars from the 20s. I had the Indian Gas Special. I had cars like that, but they were all Model T powered with speed equipment from back then. Double overhead camshafts. Everything we have now on these cars, they had in the 20s in race cars.
Do you work on these cars too?
I do. I still pretend like I go to work every morning and I go out to the shop and then I pretend like I'm working. I don't get anything done, but
But you turn a wrench or two.
I pretend.
Kaz, if you would just humor us, and let's just go down the list, the inventory list of your collection.
Okay, I've got a 39 Ford with a 331 Cadillac engine in it. It's 3 two-barrel carburetors on it. I'm a traditional hot rodder. I have a 1950 Ford Coupe with a 392 Hemi in it. I got a 73 Corvette that we did a whole tube chassis underneath, and it's all C7 late model Corvette underneath.
Ooh.
I did a 57 Corvette just like that with all modern architecture underneath. Transmissions in the back and the whole thing transaxle. Nobody does that.
Wow.
Just me. I've got a Corvair with a V8 in the back seat.
Beautiful car.
I've had Indy cars, the real thing. Matter of fact, the Model A that I have has the spare engine from my 1977 Volstead Indy car that I drove around the track in Indianapolis about 5-6 years ago. We did 8 laps on carburation day around the track. Pretty cool stuff. I've got a Volkswagen drag car, the turbocharged VW. I've got a Volkswagen bus, hippie wagon.
Yes.
Yeah, we got all this stuff.
So, Kaz, one of the things that we love about doing this show is we're able to go all over the country and experience car cultures in different regions. Indiana is so rich in that car history. So tell us a little bit about that and how you fit in.
Well, there were more individual car companies in Indiana than there were in Michigan or anywhere else in the country. All kinds of cars we never even heard of, Kokomo and so on. So yeah, the history in Indiana is really deep in that. I'm an old timer compared to everybody else. My grandkids are into tuner cars and so on, but they're still hot rodders. They're as much of a hot rodder as I was when I was a kid. It's just a different class, different setup. That's why I bought that Volkswagen, so I can compete with my grandkids.
And they race as well?
They race those cars all over the place, and I whipped their ass with it.
Your daughters, I'm sure, get a kick out of that. And your grandsons, they probably just worship you.
Well, I don't know about that, but I buy them lunch a lot.
I love it. So you're going to take me for a ride, I hear, today.
I think we should go.
Yes.
I don't know if you're man enough to ride in this thing. But
Oh, I'm man enough.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Oh, my.
Salamat. There we go. It's little.
Yeah, it is. Big
Yeah.
guys can't fit in here.
Yeah.
They complain.
But I mean, I love it.
It's a farm truck, that's all it is.
What year is this again?
41.
And it's a V8?
It's a Chevy in there, yeah. 57 Chevy.
They wanted farm trucks to go fast, huh?
Well, they didn't, originally it had been a Ford Flathead.
This is cool. I like this material.
Yeah, that's classic.
Is it?
Seat cover material from the 50s.
Really?
Yeah. Fenders rub a little bit.
All part of the charm.
Smells like gasoline, smells like old cars.
Smells like America.
Yep. This is a traditional hot rod.
Yeah.
Those other guys, street rodders, they got, it's all modern stuff.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it like a new car.
Right. They don't make them like they used to, Kaz.
Thank God.
Little glove box here.
Yeah, gas gauge.
There's where your gas gauge is?
Got to pump the brakes.
Okay.
Synchronizers are going out of the transmission. Clutch is chattering.
Can anybody else drive this besides you?
Yeah, probably not. I got the codes. You notice there's no seat belts in here.
Yeah, I'm holding myself in. I trust you. Trusting you, Kaz, in my life. No oh shit handles either.
No, nothing. Nothing. Just bend over, kiss your ass goodbye.
What does your wife think of your obsession?
You know what? We've gone to all these places.
Have you really?
All over. Yeah, all over. We've been everywhere.
So let's see. We have Indiana, Belvedere, Illinois, New York State Fairgrounds, Wisconsin. I love it. So she shares your passion.
Yeah.
She supports it either way.
She supports it. Oh, we've been so lucky. We've been married forever.
Yeah, that is luck.
Yeah.
And your daughters seem so lovely. They shared some stories with me about their memories of growing up with you and all these amazing cars, and they talked about July 4th and how you would do parades.
Do parades with old Model T Fords, yeah. It's great.
That is just such a core memory for them, I'm sure.
I've been really lucky.
You've been blessed. Talked about earlier about your cars, and you said you left some out, so give me the goods.
I've got a 32 Ford Roadster that I bought in Shadow Hills, California. Originally, they wanted like $1,200 to have it shipped. So instead of shipping it, I said, well, I'm save some money. I'm gonna go pick it up. And so I took my oldest daughter and her son, and we went to California. And on the way, we saw the largest ball of twine, the sod house, the Grand Canyon.
So you took that road trip to California thinking it was gonna cost you less than $1,200?
Yeah. Came back, it was like $6,000. Saved a lot of money.
But priceless though, right?
Yeah, we had a great time.
This has been lovely. We'll be right back with more Cars and Coffee Exposed.
Promotional consideration provided by
What is Urable? We are a business management system that helps create an exceptional customer experience and improves business operations. As a car enthusiast, you deserve the best, and Urable is the common denominator. With so many detail shops, endless brands of ceramic coatings, window tint, and paint protection film, it's hard to find the right shop for the job. Shops powered by Urable understand the care and quality that your investment requires. Avoid shops that are in the race to the bottom. If you want to identify the best providers in your area, make sure they're powered by Urable.
Get ready for an adrenaline-fueled ride with Cars and Coffee Exposed. It's not just a show, it's a whole new automotive experience. Now's the time to claim your spot as a brand partner for the electrifying 2024 season. Partner with us to inject your brand into our high-octane episodes and connect with car enthusiasts live at Cars and Coffee events nationwide. Rev up your marketing strategy today. Contact carsandcoffeeexposed.com and let's accelerate together.
Welcome back to Cars and Coffee Exposed. Tom Duty, it is such an honor to meet you. And I just love this story. So this 63 Riviera that was commissioned by your fiance.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in the lake and she says, like all new relationships, would you build a car with me?
Yeah.
I said, It's like a pretty common thing to say.
Yeah.
And you agreed.
Oh, yeah.
And-
We had way too many adult beverages at that point, but yeah.
And so, how did you find this car?
We were sitting there and I grabbed my phone on a little floaty and looked up on eBay and found it. And he told us, he said, if you buy this car and you don't like it, I'll pay you gas money to come over and look at it and go back home.
Really?
He said, it's that nice.
Where did you find it?
In Cleveland, Ohio.
Had it just been sitting in a barn or?
His dad bought it brand new. He built a garage in '67 on the house, and that car never sat outside from 1967 on. Fast forward a couple years, his dad died. The kid inherited it. One thing led to another, and it snowballed into what we have now.
What color was it when you found it?
It was silver, and we painted it tanzanite blue.
So let's talk about that paint job, because that paint job is absolutely, it's just gorgeous. It's perfection.
It is. It's nice.
So tanzanite blue.
Yep.
Who did the paint job on it?
Jack Davis at Bedford Body and Paint in Bedford, Indiana. The guy's just meticulous. I mean,
You can tell.
Yeah, and we started with a pretty cherry body. I mean, there was no rust on this car at all. It was a 5-year build. So in that 5 years, we kept seeing it silver. Then it got down to when they stripped the car. Well, when they stripped it, it was still silver, raw metal. The more she looked at that, the more she started liking the silver. And she said, well, let's just paint it silver. So the guy that built the car, Cale Kern Hot Rods, he just kind of went, oh, please don't paint this car silver. He said, this car has so much chrome on it that he said, you're going to lose the chrome.
Yeah.
There's nothing on that car that hasn't been touched. Frame off, Roadster Shop chassis, did all the engine work, all brand new, modern transmission, Willwood brakes all the way around.
Was the red interior, is that the original color interior?
It had a black interior.
I love the red.
We'd already ordered the rims and tires that we wanted, and we had the red lines put on it. So Eileen thought that red might clash with the blue, so she's about ready to change the tires, and I said, let's just put a red interior and it matched the red lines. So we went through like 3 books.
You did it.
We did it.
It's beautifully crafted. You can tell there's been so much work and so much attention to detail, and you stayed true to the car because it's a work of art.
Good.
Thank you so much, Tom. You're a good man. I'm gonna put in a good word for you today. Mike,
Yes.
you brought us this magnificent restored funny car.
Yes.
What year is it?
1965.
1965. And I'm learning about the funny cars and what makes them funny.
Well, the significance is the 426 Hemi engine. Chrysler developed that in 1964. And one of the reasons the wheels are moved on this car is in 1964, the weight of the heads added an extra 100 pounds. And in 63, their max wedge, they had a 426 max wedge, and the weight distribution in 63 was optimum. The rules in NHRA AFX were you can't move the motor. So Chrysler figured out they could move the wheels. Then in 64, they moved them 3 inches and 5 inches. So the engineers thought in 1965, if that little bit was good, a little bit more would be better. So they moved them 10 inches and 15 inches. NHRA realized what they were building. They enacted a rule right before the 65 season started that you couldn't move the wheels over 2%. So they didn't get to run those in NHRA AFX. The announcer called them funny looking, and that's how that happened.
And you have a few of these funny cars
Actually,
collected, right?
Yes. I've spent about half of my life trying to figure out what happened. There were 11 factory-built cars, but each one of them was given to a certain guy. So they're basically somewhat one of a kind, even though they were 11. So when I finally decided I needed to try to figure it out, I made a list. And the first car on the list was Bud Fablo's Honker, which was one of the 6 Dodges. I ended up buying it. And again, it was rougher than a night in jail, but it was that car. And some of the parts still had the original paint. It had never been painted a different color. So basically there's 5 left, 3 Dodges and 2 Plymouths. But the point when you asked me if I had more, I ended up owning all 5 of them at one time or another.
Yeah.
So
it started out 11, right?
Yes.
You said 11. And out of the 11, you own 5 of them.
I couldn't afford to keep them always. I had a tendency that I bought them and then sold them.
It required so much effort on your part to track it down. And
Right.
I mean, you really were committed to this endeavor.
Well, somebody needed to try to figure out what happened
Yes, absolutely.
to them.
And that's why we're here, and that's why we do this show, is because we want to keep that culture alive. And
Cool.
so we're really appreciative to people like you that just keep doing that. So thanks. Keep up the good work. Steve Trushin, we're right outside of Indianapolis, one of the race capitals of the world, and you brought us a piece of history. This car came in second at the 1932 Indy 500.
That's correct.
It's an incredible piece of history.
It's still around and still runs.
And it still runs. That gives me hope. You got this car from your dad.
Yes.
So it's a legacy, and it's a Trushin special. Why exactly?
Well, because he built it.
Okay.
I mean, most of those race cars at the time were called somebody special
Right.
because it was not a factory built car. Today, that's not the way it is. People buy everything, but years ago, people built their own stuff. And really until like 1980s or something, that was kind of the way it was.
And your dad was a racer?
Yeah, my dad drove from the early about 32 or 33 on half-mile dirt tracks primarily. He won a lot of races. He got this engine in 1937. He traded Shorty Cantlin, who bought it to begin with. He traded him a new 1937 Ford until I came along and ruined his racing. Racing used to be really dangerous. I mean, most of the people that were racers died in race cars. And I guess he or my mother figured out that maybe he didn't want to keep doing that.
Well, I mean, I can't say that was a bad decision. I'm sure you're glad that he stuck around.
Well, I'm glad he stuck around. We always had a business, Gary Bridge and Iron Company, which I still run.
Okay.
It's structural steel and machine shop. And I do Offenhauser engine repairs for people all over the country. So, I mean, it's still going on. And I do some race car restorations for people. And somehow, in the meantime, I've accumulated around 15 of my own race cars.
And this one, do you get to race that?
For the last, like, 26 or 27 years, the Miller meet was in Milwaukee. And we used to take a car there. The last year and this year, it's going to be at Indianapolis Raceway Park.
We just have so much appreciation for these cars and people really taking care of them. And I mean, it means a lot to you, I know, to carry on your father's legacy in the form of that car and to show it. And we're just really happy that you brought it today and showed it to us today.
Well, I'm happy to be here, too.
Yes. Thank you so much, Steve. It was so nice meeting you.